All right, Section 4, bond valuation, understanding the price of a promise. We went over sections 1 and 2, and basically it's a treasury dilemma. So you have $10,000 to invest safely for your emergency fund. The bank offers a 3-year CD paying 2.5% annually, but your finance savvy friend suggests a different option, a 3-year U.S. Treasury bond with these terms: a face value of 10,000, dollars which you get back at maturity, 4% annually coupon rate, which pays $400 per year, and the current market price is 10,500. And here's a timeline visualization of that. So here is the option the friend gave. So purchase today, 10,500. Year one, $400. Year two, $400, and then year three, 400 plus the 10,000. And this is the bond investment period versus the CD, where it's $10,000 guaranteed 2.5% annually. So after 3 years, you'll get 10,769. And then it goes on to say, a friend argues the Treasury pays $400 annually, plus you get back $10,000. That's way better than the CD. But something feels off. Why would you pay 10,500 today to get back only 10,000 in 3 years? Which is where Session Two's DVM framework saves us. Bonds are just another application of present value analysis. Instead of uncertain dividends, you're valuing guaranteed cash flows. And then we went through the self-test quiz. What does YTM stand for? Should be yield to maturity. Bonds coupon payment is the regular interest payment during the bond's life. When interest rates rise, bond prices fall. From session 2, we learned that present value helps us value future cash flows in today's dollars. And then we went on to section 2. Before that, I wrote down in my notes, we did talk about the U.S. Treasury. And here is the ChatGPT search that I had made during class. We were asked, why does the U.S. Treasury offer a Treasury bond? So obviously it offers for a few key reasons: financing government operations. So the federal government often spends more than it collects in taxes. So to cover that, they do securities like T-bonds, where investors lend money to the government by purchasing bonds, and in return they receive regular interest payments called coupon payments, um, in the return of their principal at maturity. Number two, safe investment option for the public. Treasury bonds are backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, so it's one of the safest investments in the world. Number three, managing the national debt. Treasury bonds are part of a broader debt strategy that includes Treasury bills, which are short term, and Treasury notes, medium term. So by issuing these different maturities, the Treasury manages the government's borrowing needs while balancing interest rate costs and refinancing risks. And then number four, supporting the financial markets. T-bonds provide a benchmark for long-term investment rates in the economy. Mortgage rates, corporate bonds, and other financial products often use Treasury yields as a reference. So the U.S. offers Treasury bonds to raise money for government spending, provide safe investments, manage the national debt, and support the broader financial system. Um, and then we went on to talk about the IRS, but I don't. Yeah, let's see one about the IRS here. So, um, they're obviously the ones that collect our taxes. And then so we were asked, how much does the U.S. owe? The U.S. actually owes roughly $37.4 trillion. Is our gross national debt, and so it breaks it up here. 30 most of it is from debt held by the public, so by individuals, institutions, foreign governments, and then intragovernmental holdings. So, for example, one part of the government owing money to another part, such as trust funds, it's only roughly 7.3 trillion. Um, and then we go back to section 2. Bonds as contractual cash flows. So bond valuation principle: a bond's price equals the present value of all future cash flows. Periodic coupon payments plus principal repayment at maturity. And here are some key concepts that we talked about. So the face value or the par value is the amount paid back at maturity, typically $1,000. Coupon rate is the annual interest rate stated on the bond, which determines the dollar coupon payment. And the coupon payment is the periodic interest payment equals the face value times the coupon rate. And then YTM, yield to maturity, which was earlier in the self quiz, which is the discount rate that makes our present value of cash flows equal to current price. And then maturity date, when the principal is repaid and bond expires. And then we went on to bond valuation model. So here's the timeline for the bond cash flows. Present value today, coupon year 1, coupon year 2, coupon plus the principal at year 3 maturity. And here's that formula. And then so part 3 we get a bit of some bond pricing relationships. So when YTM equals the coupon rate, bond trades at par, so price is the face value. When the yield to maturity is greater than the coupon rate, bond trades at a discount, so the price is less than the face value. And then when YTM is less than the coupon rate, bond trades at premium, so the price is greater than the face value. And then there's interest rate risk, risking rates where the bond prices fall, so existing bonds become less attractive. Falling rates, bond prices rise, and that means existing bonds become more attractive. And then we go on to part 4, the connection to the previous sessions. As you can see, session 1, TVM, session 2, stocks, and then session 3, bonds, and it's just showing the single cash flow, variable cash flows, and then the fixed cash flows. So they all use identical present value logic. Bonds just offer the most predictable, so fixed coupons and guaranteed principal repayment. And then we went on to section 3, so here's a bit of that Python practice. Went through that. And here, the goal is to develop professional level intuition for bond pricing relationships and yield calculations. Then we go on to round 3, the advanced bond analysis. So 5-year treasury strip pays no coupons, just $1,000 at maturity. If yield to maturity is 6%, what's the price? Here's the representation of the timeline. Python implementation. And here we go, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then the sanity check. And then we keep going. So here's a professional case scenario. We're evaluating an IBM 5-year corporate bond for your portfolio. Bond details: $1,000 face value, 6% annual coupon rate, currently priced at $950, and the required return is 7%. Should you buy this bond at the current market price? Here's our timeline. So purchase today, $950, in 1 year, $60, coupon. Year 2, 60, yada yada, till year 5, 60 plus the 1,000. And so what we're trying to do here is translate the bond terms into precise valuation variables and risk factors. So doing this with AI, we copy paste this, and then we can see here is ChatGPT identifying the bond's cash flows, breaks it all up. Coupon is $60, 60, 60, 60, and then present value of cash flows. Here's the formula with the return rate of 7%. So then we get, computing it, we get $959. So theoretical value is $959, which is close to the market price of $950, which means the bond is fairly valid given your required return. So for stocks, you discount expected dividends, which depend on assumptions about growth and risk. It's more of a forecasting problem. So we keep going to represent, where we map the fixed income cash flow structure. And here's the timeline again. And then implementing, where we just do the bond analysis code. Validate, so just multiple verifications just to make sure. Evolve, where we do fixed income framework applications. So just taking those previous session values and ideas, implementing them. And then here we just go on to the insight that we've gained, which is contractual certainty. Bond cash flows are legally guaranteed, obviously subject to credit risk. Interest rate sensitivity, bond prices move inversely to rate changes, a fundamental relationship. And then a credit analysis, corporate bonds require assessment of issuers' financial health. And then our portfolio role, bonds provide stability and income in diversified portfolios. And yeah, that was it.